What do Snap-on Tools and an art center at Eastern Illinois University have in common? The answer, Newton E. Tarble. As one of the founders of Snap-on Tools, Tarble was able to make his initial fortune. His connection to Eastern dates back to his early days, not in college, but much earlier. Newton spent his elementary years at Eastern's laboratory school.
So he and his brother attended the training school, and then EIU's first president, Lord, arranged for Newton and his brother to get a pitcher-catcher baseball scholarship to Swarthmore College, and so they went off to Swarthmore to study.
Grateful to Eastern for his early success, Tarble wanted to give something back. He was approached with the idea for a new art center for the campus, which ironically would be constructed right next to the former school that he attended in his youth.
The building was opened in 1982. There was quite a long planning process that went prior to that, but it opened in 1982. It's the only building on campus that's funded entirely through donated funding, and Newton Tarble pledged $1 million to start the project.
And similar to the concept of Snap-on Tools, which brings the tools to the workplace, Tarble wanted art to come to the community in the same way.
And so the idea was to make the arts as accessible as they could to the people of East Central Illinois, and knowing that different offerings and accessibility to the arts is somewhat limited because we're in a rural area. And so from the very beginning, the Tarble was intended to serve both the campus community and then the general community.
Since the day they opened their doors, the Tarble Arts Center has served a number of purposes as a gallery, classroom, gift shop, performance space, and much more. Their permanent collection includes 20th century Illinois folk arts, American scene prints and watercolors from the 1930s and 40s, paintings by Paul T. Sargent and Robert M. Root, who were both natives of the area and were associated with the Brown County, Indiana Artist Colony. Changing exhibits throughout the year showcase not only the center's permanent collection, but also the works of visiting artists. The Tarble Arts Center is home to the Drawing Watercolor Biennial Exhibition, which started in the 1970s. It is a juried show that is open to any Illinois artist. 2 Purchase Award winners are chosen each year, which then become part of the center's permanent collection. Tarble's biggest show is Cultivating Creativity, an annual children's art exhibition.
We've continued to expand the schools that are incorporated into the exhibition. So it started off being primarily Charleston schools, and now it's like 40 area schools in like a 50-mile radius, and grown from a very modest exhibition to being the largest that we do. This past exhibition was over 300 works. One piece of art from each school in the exhibition is selected, and then that's put into a small traveling exhibition that goes back to those communities, so that the student artists, and the schools and the teachers get recognized for what they do in the form of having that exhibition there, but it also then puts that student's work in the context of all the other work that's being done in the area.
In addition to serving as a gallery, the Tarble Arts Center offers an extensive educational program for school-age children in the region. Summertime brings out a variety of art classes where kids can try their hand at any number of art mediums.
One thing is we have a really well-equipped classroom. We can do ceramics, we can do enameling, we can do sculpture, we can do metal smithing, in painting and printmaking and so on. So we can do things that, especially some of the more economically challenged schools, just can't introduce those media or can't afford a kiln, things like that. I'm also bringing them into the museum setting. Oftentimes we'll use some of the art on display as inspiration for some of the projects, so they actually get to see the real thing and then create something inspired by that. So I think that's another advantage too.
One of my favorite quotes is from Einstein, and he says, you know, before you can do anything, first you have to imagine it. And that's what the arts is all about, imagining things.